Words cannot describe just how shocked I am right now. Like, I thought the numbers were with me, but then suddenly they fell onto Daniel. And now he's gone, and I'm shocked, because I thought that, Carl and John were with me, but they clearly didn't vote with me and Daniel. So what was that about, guys? Why'd you vote for Daniel? Well, we kind of had to, big threat. Didn't want to really take him near the end. Okay, fair, but we agreed we were doing that. Yeah, well, I guess we changed at the last second. But why? Look, the game was getting dull and boring, and I just frankly wanted to make a move. I wanted to make something happen and put something on my resume. Because if I just do nothing, then I've got the most dullest gameplay out there, and nobody's gonna vote for me to win. So I had to put a move on my resume, and that meant getting rid of Daniel. So I don't know why Marcy's having a big deal about this. It's just like, I don't know. You guys just, I don't know, felt like you guys left me out to dry like that. I'm sorry you feel that way, but that's kind of how the game works. Okay, when do I start by saying, what the heck was that? I mean, that was just crazy. Yeah, well, this game is certainly crazy, but, shouldn't ever get so comfortable in this game. Daniel just got too comfortable in the game for his own good, which is the reason why me, John, and Carl decided to vote him off over Matt, Fran, and Marcy. But I mean, the game still progresses. You do know that, right? Yeah, we know. Fran, we need to talk. I think I know where you're going with this. I'm still shocked that Daniel went out. I mean, it's not like I care. I mean, guy was a threat, so obviously he needed to go. But the plan was to do Marcy, and it's clearly obvious Sandra didn't go through with it. Apparently her, Carl, and John have just suddenly taken power. So, at this stage of the game, they're a trio, so I feel like me and Fran have no choice but to make a trio with the one person who we've been trying to get out. You know what I'm about to say, right? Yeah. 'Cause here's the thing. I know we both don't really want to vote with Marcy or even work with her, but I think we have to now. Because, I mean, John, Sandra, and Carl made it clear they're a trio, and we obviously need to rebel against that. We can't be the next ones to go. Yeah, true. Because once Marcy goes, if we end up going with that side, we'll just get picked off one by one. Yeah, I mean, we could pull heartstrings at Sandra, but I feel like she's too far gone into that alliance, so I feel like this is the only thing we can do. Sandra essentially left me and Matt out to dry last night. Now, I understand why she did. It was a big move, and good on her. That now makes her a big threat, and also makes Carl and John big threats, because they all essentially had the control on that vote. Me and Matt were under the impression we had the say in the vote. And I'm pretty sure Marcy and Daniel thought they had the say in the vote, but it turns out the real people who had the power were the people, that were under our noses the entire time. Alright, Marcy, I know, we have our differences and all that, but I feel like that we need to at least come together for this next vote, because we cannot let those three get past another vote as a trio. I mean, I can agree on that because, I was rather shocked that they just completely, took control, essentially, of the game in some way. Yeah, it's crazy. Matt and Fran offer me an alliance to take down the other three, and you know what? I'm not against it. The reason why is because, yes, I could go with that group and go final, Final Four, but because I was not in their plan initially, then that means they'll just send me out at Final Four. And did I come into this game expecting to get 4th place? No, I came into this game to expect 1st place, so that means I have to work with people who I don't particularly want to work with, and someone who I try to get rid of, then so be it. Well, guys, they certainly did not see that coming. Yeah, we left them shocked. Yeah, definitely felt good to make that move, but I'm kind of worried now. Why? Well, because I feel like since we made that move, they're gonna go after us. I mean, I don't feel like they wouldn't be against getting together and trying to take us down. Yeah, but it's 3 versus 3, so I'm wondering if any of them were willing to go to rocks. So what do you guys think? Well, I'm just kind of worried about the idol. Why? Think one of them has it? I do. I think that, I'm pretty sure that when I talked with Matt and Fran did tell me that she had the idol. Oh, so that's not good. Yeah, so if we vote for Fran, she'll probably end up playing it for herself. If we vote for Matt, she'll probably play it on Matt. Huh. Well, what do we do then? Well, we could always take out Marcy. I mean, that could be the smartest route, because if we tie it on Marcy, I doubt that Matt and Fran would go to rocks for her. So, maybe it could be a good idea. This alliance is worried about the other 3 getting together and making their own alliance and trying to take us down. And Sandra's worried because apparently Fran has the idol, which is not good for us, because if she plays it for Matt, or possibly plays it on herself, or maybe even Marcy, then we're kind of screwed. However, I doubt she'll play it for Marcy. She might end up playing it for Matt. So, I feel like the smartest route for the next vote is to try and take out Marcy. So, that's essentially what we're gonna do. Welcome to your next immunity challenge. For this challenge, you'll be hanging on to a pole for as long as you can without falling into the water. If you fall off your pole and into the water, you're out of this challenge. Last one hanging wins immunity. Safe from the vote. Everyone seems ready. This challenge begins. Ten minutes have gone by. Everyone still remains strong. Looks like John is struggling a little bit as he slipped off his pole for a little bit. But he's still hanging in there. Everyone else looking really solid. John's the only one who's made a mistake. Bit of movement happening with Matt. Ooh, and Matt loses his grip. He is the first one out of this challenge. Looks like Sandra, Marcy, and Fran start losing their grip. The only one who hasn't moved a muscle is Carl. John getting really close to falling now. And John is down, which means we're down to 4. Carl, Sandra, Fran, and Marcy still battling for immunity, but only one of them will be guaranteed a spot in the final 5. Looks like Sandra's slipping a little bit. And Sandra is down, which means we're down to 3. The 3 are still staying strong. It's been nearly an hour. Looks like Carl's starting to make a bit of movement now. But meanwhile, Fran and Marcy keep falling further and further down their poles. Marcy goes down. Fran goes down. Which means Carl has won immunity for the 3rd time this season. Congratulations, Carl. You've won immunity. You're safe from tonight's vote. As for the rest of you, Tribal Council tonight, one of you will be the 11th person voted out and the 5th member of our jury. Won't be you. Anyways, got nothing else for you guys. Grab your stuff and head back to camp. See you guys tonight. I don't think someone around my age can say that they've won this amount of immunity challenges. It's honestly kind of crazy how many I'm winning. Though I know that if I end up screwing up a challenge, then yeah, my name is definitely going to be out there for sure. How Carl manages to win all of these goddamn challenges consistently, I will never know. But what I do know is since he's immune, that means that me, Fran, and Matt can only go after Sandra or John. So you two, is it going to be John or Sandra? That's actually a tough question. Yeah, don't know for sure. Both poses threats in their own way. I think that Sandra is a more physical threat, and John is a more strategic threat. So, yeah, that's kind of a tough question. Because Carl is immune, that means that there's only 2 options my group can go down, which is either vote off Sandra or vote off John. I don't really care which one it is, just as long as one of the people in that alliance goes out. So, yeah, we just all gotta stick together on this one. So, you two good with the plan? Yeah, I'm fine with taking out Marcy. Sure. Alright, great. Now all we gotta do is tell Matt and Fran we are not going any other direction, and that we are willing to go down to rocks. That's literally the way we can make this work. So my alliance's plan is to vote off Marcy, and our goal is to bring Fran and Matt into it. And hopefully they jump and vote for her, because if they don't, well then they're going to rocks for her. And I don't think they would really want to go to rocks for her, unless if they really want to. And I'm hoping that they don't. Hey Matt, Fran, what do you three want? Well, we're voting for Marcy, and here's the thing. We know you are both, working with Marcy, but here's the deal. We're split 3-3. Are you two really going to go to rocks for her? I mean, I don't really want to go to rocks. Well then, don't go to rocks, because we're not changing our votes. We're doing Marcy, and, well, we expect you both to do the same, unless if you really want to go to rocks. Alright then, fine, whatever. I'm a little bothered that this alliance has power over me and Matt, but that's only going to be temporarily, because something that they don't have is the hidden immunity item. So, if, worst case scenario, if Marcy ends up going, then, well, we got the idol and we can stay an extra round or two. So, hopefully it works. So are you doing Marcy? I mean, I guess we have no other choice, right? Yeah, I guess. But why should we give those three power? Well, because, I mean, they're kind of in the best spot, because they're essentially controlling the vote. Because, yes, we have our say and we can tie it, but we do not want to go to rocks for Marcy. We did not intend to go to rocks for Marcy. We only wanted to think about working with her for a vote. But it's clearly obvious that we can't, because, those three are too tight. They aren't budging, so we just gotta stick down the route and vote off Marcy. Yeah, I guess. But, we still have the idol, so we can use it at Final 5. Exactly, as long as we play it right, we should be good. Fran and I are tasked with either sticking with our allegiances with Marcy, or going against her and unanimously eliminating her. Here's the thing. I do not want to give that side power, but we're kind of forced to, because they're sticking together. So, if Marcy ends up going this round, then, well, we obviously got the idol still, so we could use it. But, I don't know, because if the Final Four happens, if we both are in the Final Four, if me and Fran are both in the Final Four, then I don't know what happens. So, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but I know it's coming sooner rather than later. Welcome to another tribal council. First things first, we'll bring in the members of our jury. Memphis, Gerald, Courtney, and Daniel voted out the last tribal council. So, Carl, you're immune for the third time. How are you feeling? Well, I'm feeling really good, Jeff. But I obviously know that once I lose, I'm definitely going to have to watch out, because, the rest of these people could come together and vote me out. So, Marcy, do you think that would be accurate? Well, you never know for sure, because you never know if people's allegiances lie somewhere, so I don't know. Could it be possible that his allies turn on him? Because I know he has allies. So, would they turn on him if he didn't have immunity? I don't know. So, Matt, how are you basing tonight's vote on? Well, Jeff, I don't think there's really any basis on this vote. It's just trying to get through to see the next day, and that's essentially what it boils down to right now. Alright then, with that said, it's time to vote. Fran will start us off. If rocks happens, then so be it. That'll be Matt and Fran's gamble, then. I value you as more of a threat overall, so adios. I'll go tally the votes. Alright, if anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now be the time to do so. Yeah, Jeff, I'll play it. Sure, why not? I'm feeling uncertain about tonight, so I'm going to use it on myself. Alright, thank you. Rules of Survivor state that if a hidden immunity idol is played, any votes cast for that person will not count, and the person with the next highest amount of votes will be sent out. This is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast for Marcy will not count. Anyway, I'll read the votes. First vote. Marcy does not count. Marcy does not count. Marcy. That's 3 votes Marcy, none of them count, no votes for anybody, 3 votes left. Marcy. That's 4 votes Marcy, none of them count, 2 votes left. Marcy. That's 5 votes Marcy, none of them count, no votes anybody, 1 vote left. 11th person voted out and the 5th member of our jury. Sandra. Sandra, you need to bring me your torch. Well, that did not work. Sandra, the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. Well, we are down to 5. You guys have a few more days left out in this game. Make them count. Anyways, got nothing else for you guys. Grab your stuff and head back to camp. Didn't matter where my alliance voted, because both people had idols. And that just sucks. You know, Marcy had her idol and screwed everything up. She just outsmarted me. Right when I gain power, I lose it all tonight. That's a shame, because I thought I finally was able to take control of this game and it all fell apart.